Christopher Walken is joining us tonight. With 40 years in film, some 90 roles to his credit, and an ability to play anything from the cruelest villain to the most ardent cowbell enthusiast, Christopher is one of our favorite actors. His newest film is Hairspray, a remake of John Waters' original film, and it is a great honor to have him on the show. Christopher Walken, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you.
Let's talk about Hairspray for a moment. In this film, you sing and dance, and some of us who know have seen you in the Fatboy Slim video, dancing very well. What was it like working on Hairspray, where that was what your task was, to sing and dance? Did it feel like it was a natural thing?
Sure. It's, I made my living doing that until I was, about 30.
Right.
Did a lot of musicals and tours of shows. I did a lot of tours of West Side Story. And from the time I was a teenager, I did that. And then I, got to be an actor. But then, you don't forget that. It's a lot like riding a bicycle. It's
John Waters, a guy who we've had on this show before, and I'm a longtime fan of his. Were you familiar at all with his work before you got into Hairspray?
Sure. I'd seen a lot of his movies, and Divine and all that. And, I've met him a couple of times. I said to him, if you ever see a place for me in one of your movies, I'd like to do that.
I've seen you in a lot of different films doing all kinds of different stuff. What draws you to a role?
It's very hard to articulate. I read a script and I think, I might be good in this. Or I think nobody would like me. I wouldn't be believable as that. And with me, it has a lot to do with the words. I say them, kind of mumble them to myself, and I, think, would that sound right? And then, of course, there's the other things, like who the other actor are, and the director, and how much they're going to pay you, and stuff like that.
Because you work a lot, and I've seen you in everything from like a big movie or something that goes straight to DVD, like, a small budget indie film.
I've made a bunch of movies I never saw. They say sometimes you do a movie that goes straight to video.
Yeah.
But I've done movies that didn't even go straight to video.
It just goes like late night cable?
Something. Yeah. 5 years later, it shows up, on cable. And then they claim, they don't have to, usually on movies like that, you have a back end. Right. And if they release it, they have to pay you more. But they'll say, well, we never released it. And I've done a bunch of those.
And I don't see it as any blow or knock to your credibility or artistic integrity at all, in that it just seems to me you really like to have something to do and to always be working. I mean, it's a hell of an output, what you've done. It looks like you're constantly working.
Well, but a lot. And there have been times I made 6 movies a year, and sometimes, I don't have hobbies. I don't have children. I've been married a long time, but I live in a nice place, kind of in the semi-country, and I don't, going to work is basically the most fun. Yeah. So I do that a lot. Less now than I used to.